様の新必殺技、ファイナルシャインアタック。
What is up, guys? We are back for another video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. And the World Tournament is finally over here on the global side of the game. It was a long grind, as it always is. Before I went to bed, which was about 2 hours before the tournament ended, I think I'm going to barely just squeak into the top 1,000, which is probably the hardest I've ever grinded in the World Tournament, which is not even really anything compared to what some of the homeboys do. So I think, for instance, Pokédex, the homie Pokédex, he always grinds super hard. Free Joker, DBZ Blaze, I think even went pretty hard on this World Tournament. But I will take what I can get. It was a tough grind. Plus, I had a final exam to study for. So anyway, moving on from the World Tournament shenanigans, we should be getting those rewards sometime either tonight around reset or maybe even tomorrow around reset. Pretty soon, though. Anyway, there is no way I was going to let this news just kind of get swept under the rug on this channel. So shout out to the boy, Gaming with Talon. As you can see, at Gaming Talon is his on Twitter. The guy does not even play Dokkan anymore, or he doesn't even make content on Dokkan anymore, but here he is helping out the community. Talon, we really appreciate you, buddy. So these are the official Golden Week translations, as you saw in the beginning of the video. Obviously, pretty much everyone knows by now. We are getting some really big hype compared to especially a lot of the stuff that's been coming out lately. This is pretty hype. So we are getting a brand new Super Saiyan Goku GT and then a Super Saiyan Vegeta GT. So this is very good. Like, there are not really any quality versions of these units in the game. So that's really good, right? And as we're going to go through, like, they've got some they honestly look ridiculous. I mean, straight up, they look ridiculous. So let's go ahead and go over them really quick, and then we'll kind of go over the implications of what it means exactly. A lot of things going on here, right? So, number one, let's go over Goku first. He is Fizz type. By the way, you can go check this out again over on Talon's channel. You can actually just go and check out the official JP Dokkan account as well. I imagine Global will be tweeting these out as well, because I guess part one to this video is, yeah, Golden Week this year is on both versions. So again, we probably all already know that at this point, but this is big news. We'll go over it a little bit toward the end and what this means, right? So, but anyway, let's go over the cards really quick. So the Super Saiyan Goku, he is a GT Hero leader, which is a new category. Key 3, 170% to stats, HP, attack, and defense. Obviously really good when it's 170 all the way around. That does usually implicate that it is going to be a limited category when it's got the big fat stats all the way around, but still, man. And then he's a Goku family leader at Key 3, 150% to stats. So I think that's a disgusting leader skill. So I think right off the bat, he's got the advantage in the leader skill department, because Goku's family is way better than Vegeta's family. It cannot be denied, right? The super attack, they are both the same, but again, let's focus on Goku for a minute. Raises attack greatly for 1 turn. Infinitely raises defense and causes immense damage, along with greatly lowering enemy defense. Now, this particular ability, this greatly lowering, massively lowering, gets a lot of shit, and I would dare say that, yeah, certainly in something like the Gathering of the Gods of Destruction event, maybe it's not super relevant, but in basically every other event in the game, if you get a couple great lowerings or massive lowerings of defense, I promise you the damage will start to add up. It's not completely worthless like some tubers make it out to be. I mean, now it's not as effective as like lowering attack. Like that obviously helps you more. But lowering defense is not worthless. Don't think that maybe just a normal lowering of defense, yeah, is not overly useful, but great lowering, massive lowering, not useless, right? But anyway, let's move on. Passive skill, attack 180%, defense 120%, randomly changes one type of orb to rainbow, and for every orb obtained, attack 20% when you super attack, and when a GT hero unit is on the same rotation, Goku gets an additional defense 50%. Now we will see how this plays out in game. Again, the translations can be a little weird when you're translating directly from Japanese to English. So we shall see if this is going to be kind of like a Spirit Bomb Absorb Goku effect where they can... So it looks like Goku could potentially, if there are two other GT hero units on the same rotation, he could potentially get an additional 100% defense, or if it's just going to be that 50% for, you know, one or two units, right? So we shall see how that plays out, right? If it's going to be only 50% or 100%. So, but anyway, they do both have active skills. Massively raises attack and does ultimate damage, and this is after 4 super attacks. And guys, that's not it's not really all that good. When you compare this to Int Broly has the same exact active skill conditions, but Int Broly can super attack 4 times in one turn, albeit rare, but he can do that. These guys more than likely are going to be supering, on average, going to be like less than 2, right? So even if you have the max, you know, rainbowed full additional, they're not going to be double super attacking all that often. So the only place you'll see this is the Legendary Goku event or Infinite Dragon Ball History. Really no two ways about it. Let's go ahead and go over Vegeta GT before this video gets too long in the tooth. So the same exact leader skill except for Vegeta's family, right? 150% and key 3 to Vegeta's family. The super attack effect is the exact same. Greatly raises attack for 1 turn, infinitely raises defense, causes immense damage, greatly lowers defense. And that is immense damage. Whatever I just said, I don't know. So attack plus 180%, defense 120%. Again, he is a rainbow orb changer, and he's getting, for every orb obtained, he's getting attack and defense. Oh, okay, so it's attack and defense 10% when you super attack. Oh, I should point out that, so these guys are going to benefit a lot from conventional support units. So for instance, the next 2 units we're going to go over are support units. Remember that attack on super, you really get benefited the way the math kind of works out. You really benefit a lot from just like a traditional support type unit. So they're going to be hitting insanely, ridiculously crazy hard. You know, hello, welcome to, you know, Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. Every new Dokkan Fest exclusive, you know, hits ridiculously hard. These guys, I think, potentially could be the hardest hitters in the game in terms of TURs. I think they probably will be. So, and then again, when a GT hero unit is on the same rotation, Vegeta gets an additional attack 50%, and we will see if that's going to be 100% or just that 50%, right? And then again, the active skill conditions are the exact same. So, guys, these guys look ridiculously strong, and actually we do have a couple more units that we can kind of go over quickly here. But just, you know, to throw my 2 cents in, they look like they could potentially be maybe on Videl's level. I think that by the time the dust settles, you know, looking at them yet again, guys, they're going to be, I mean, they're going to be hitting, I would say, probably like harder than Trunks and Goten. The only thing that they are missing that maybe they won't be on Videl's level is they don't have any chance to dodge, and they won't be super effective against all types, but how huge their attack stats are going to be with them being rainbow orb changers and stuff, like the amount of orbs they're going to be able to collect, it's just going to be absurd. They're going to do like Mickey Mouse numbers, like just like fake numbers that don't look real. You know what I mean? So they're going to be ridiculous, right? And then of course they're going to be really good defensively, I think. But they both seem relatively balanced, like not balanced in how good they are, but like balanced compared to one another. I don't think one has the distinct advantage of being better. I think they're both going to be outputting similar things offensively and defensively, just the way their passives are set up. But anyway, let's continue on Of course, as you guys saw in the super attack animations in the beginning of this video, there are 2 more support units that are coming. So there's a Gohan and a Goten GT, and they are the tech type, and they're a GT hero leader. Key 3, 120% to stats. Super attack, they greatly raise attack and defense for 1 turn, causing supreme damage. Pretty damn good. So their passive skill, when you super attack and defense 150%. So again, going to benefit a lot from support type units, right? They're going to be able to hit hard. Guarantees additional with a medium chance to be a super attack. Wow, that's pretty good, man. So they could potentially super twice. A great raise of attack and defense twice is ridiculous. And they could potentially super 3 times from the hidden potential system. So they're going to be really, really strong. GT hero category allies, key 3, attack and defense 40%. Say no more, fam. They're ridiculous. They're busted. Absolutely crazy. I don't even really need to go further with that. So let's go ahead and move on to Trunks and Goten GT. They are AGL type. Again, the same exact leader skill, and they infinitely raise attack and defense. Interesting. I think already I like Gohan and Goten better. They're going to perform better in the short event, being able to greatly raise for 1 turn with guaranteed additionals. I think that they have the advantage, but let's go over the rest of the card. Their passive skill, key 3, okay, attack and defense 150%. When you super attack, additional attack plus 40%, okay. Guaranteed additional attack with a medium chance to be a super. Goku family category allies, key 3, attack and defense 40%. Vegeta's family allies, key 3, attack and defense 40%. Now, it does not go over their categories here. But I think we can probably figure them out. Gohan and Goten definitely going to be on like siblings bond. They will be on Goku's family. They're basically going to share all the same categories except for Super Saiyan as LR, Gohan, and Goten. And then of course, they will have the GT hero category, right? And they obviously won't have movie heroes either, but they'll share a lot of similar categories. Probably have similar links. I don't see link sets in here either. That is something to keep in mind. Again, you can find all that stuff on the JP Twitter. There might be better translations out there. I don't know. These were the ones I found, and I kind of just went with it, right? But anyway, finally, Metarildo is getting his Dokkan Awakening. Literally has been like 5 years or something like that. Maybe 4 years since he's dropped. And he's just been sitting there doing absolutely jack diddly shit. This would mean, I believe, now correct me if I'm wrong here, in terms of summonable units, there is only one. There's one unit in Dokkan that needs its Dokkan Awakening, and that is the STR Super Saiyan 2 Trunks, which basically doesn't exist anywhere in Dragon Ball. It's kind of like a Dokkan exclusive unit. So really, really interesting to see what they're going to do with that unit. But let's go ahead and let's talk about Rildo a little bit. I think Rildo looks honestly kind of ridiculous. So STR types key 3, stats 90%, raises attack infinitely, greatly raises defense for 1 turn, supreme damage, lowers attack. Dog, that's really good. Holy crap. So he's stacking, greatly raising, so he's stacking attack, greatly raising defense, and lowering attack. Dude, that's, wow, for something like Super Battle Road, dude, his super attack effect is similar. Well, actually, it's not really similar. Never mind. But the AGL Metarildo, right, kind of does sort of similar things, right? But not really. Let's move on. At the beginning of the turn, defense 120%. Okay, there we go. When you super attack 120%, so again, going to benefit from those support type units. GT Boss category allies, key 2, defense 40%. When facing a GT hero enemy, own attack and defense plus 60%, super effective against all types. And when you have attacked an enemy, a high chance to stun for 2 turns, and when the turn ends, heal 5%. So when he's up against a GT hero enemy, he's one of the better units in the game, right? Being super effective against all types, getting additional attack and defense, and he's got a high chance to stun for 2 turns. There have been other units in the game that can stun for 2 turns, not on their super attack, right? So through their passive. Is that so Dabura does that, right? Fizz Dabura, I think he can stun you for 2 turns from his passive. And then I think the Great Saiyan Man, Super Saiyan Great Saiyan Man, I think he can seal you for 2 turns, right? So anyway, this would be good because he does not have to get an additional super attack to potentially stun you, right? So that is good. He can just double, you know, he can stun you for 2 turns with just an additional normal. So that's actually pretty good, right? He looks crazy, man, against specifically GT hero units, but a couple more things I want to go over. Let's go ahead and hop in game real quick. All right, so as you can see, okay, so this is what I mentioned in the beginning of the video, right? So the World Tournament rewards should be coming here pretty quickly. We are getting a new stage in the Infinite Dragon Ball History event, Stage 13, which I believe it's Stage 14 on JP. But who cares, right? Content is content. I don't care. And finally, we are getting Extreme Super Battle Road. Even the toughest stages in that round of Super Battle Road, we're getting ridiculously easy. Like Realm of Gods is an absolute joke now. Fusion is an absolute joke. I think I no-item fusions. With a key, I used a key and no-itemed it, right? Like it was absolutely, it's so ridiculously easy. This guy is pretty good. He probably warrants his own video. I'll go ahead and do a level 10 Link showcase on him. I almost have him done in terms of Link grinding, so he probably just deserves his own video. He does seem pretty good to me. Maybe they held back a little bit, but he is a free-to-play unit after all. But he is obviously the reward. He was the reward from the the original stages of Category Super Battle Road, and here he is getting his EZA, right? So you're gonna have to complete basically every stage, and then you're gonna have to beat one stage an additional 10 times. Basically, that's how that works. So for a total of 20 wins on Extreme Super Battle Road. So, guys, just to point out, these stages are not for the faint of heart, right? And then the event, oh, great. Okay, so this is nothing, right? This is nothing, but a couple things I wanted to talk about just quickly, right? We can just stay here right on this screen with my Super Saiyan 2 team, I guess. So this is really interesting. So Golden Week, I feel like this is one of those celebrations that is always, every year, completely forgotten about on Global because, number one, the units are not frequently super duper incredibly hype. I would not consider Gotenks and Boo like crazy hype in the same way that I actually thought Trunks and Zamasu, when they dropped on JP, were pretty hype. I would say they were pretty hype. But that was coming off of the heels of Dragon Ball Super. I believe Dragon Ball, was that right after Dragon Ball Super Broly? So Dragon Ball Super was like still kind of relevant. But it's just like anything they drop now is going to be old content, right? So that is something to keep in mind. But anyway, Golden Week, it's really big because a lot of times what has happened, especially the last 2 years I'm thinking about, is the units just got completely like phased out. Like I think Trunks probably aged a little bit better than Zamasu. And then, you know, certainly Gotenks is pretty good. And then Boo, I think, is good in the long event. But basically in everything else, he's a little bit sus, I would say. He's still good, but he's, you know, again, a little sus, right? I think when he gets to pure evil Boo, he starts to get pretty good. And then Super Boo, he's ridiculous. But it's just kind of crazy, right? So number one, the units lose just all of their steam, all of their momentum. No one is saving, quote unquote, saving for the Golden Week units on Global because they have historically dropped in November. So them dropping in November, it just like there was literally no wind in their sails, right? So now, so if we kind of look at it now, I think what is going to happen every year moving forward is now Global is going to share, let's see, let's count them up. So they're going to share Golden Week. Again, I assume they're going to do this every year moving forward. Why wouldn't they, right? Because a lot of times the units just get phased out or they, you know, straight up power crept, right? So we'll say Golden Week, and then the celebration that will kind of be replacing Golden Week will be another dual celebration. I think they're just going to continue to drop Heroes content in November on both versions. Why not, man? It did very well. I mean, it wasn't, you know, Heroes is never going to get top grossing unless it's Dokkan Fest, because the banners are double rate. Essentially, they're not double rates, excuse me. They are guaranteed featured, right? So, and then it's got that 7-to-3 ratio, right, where you're getting 7% featured versus unfeatured units, i.e. the whales are able to rainbow their units very, very quickly. So a celebration like that is not really going to hit top grossing, again, unless it's Dokkan Festival exclusive. So between those two, so there's 2 shared celebrations, and then we've got the worldwide download celebration. And then, of course, Saiyan Day on March 18th every year, right? So between shared celebrations, 4 shared celebrations a year is pretty good. And honestly, I really like the direction that Dokkan is heading into the future. I really, really, really like it. I would actually kind of prefer if, now that we've got this Golden Week thing cleared up, because Golden Week was my biggest complaint over here on Global, because the units are just straight up not hype anymore. Again, they kind of get power crept as the year goes on, because it's like, is it like 7 months difference? Yeah, from April until November, basically, you're waiting 7 months for these units to drop. So this is the way, and short of catching the games up, this is kind of the way I'd like the games to stay, because I think we're going to be able to get the best of kind of all worlds here. So on Global, if we keep it this way, we will get to keep all of our tickets on all of the big hype celebrations, right? So that is important. I guess maybe not Golden Week. We shall see. I'm not going to count it out quite yet. But at the very least on the anniversary, if we keep Global's anniversary the same and keep JP's anniversary the same, we'll still be able to keep our tickets. And honestly, that is the biggest kind of factor, right, that keeps any Global player on Global. And obviously, yes, being able to read. Being able to read is nice as well, but I think you guys understand the point that that is the biggest advantage of playing Global for sure, those Global exclusive tickets, which actually are not even Global exclusive anymore. JP got a taste of them for their 6th-year anniversary, but there is one other possibility that remains, and that is they are trending to catching the games up. I don't see that being something they do. I don't. I mean, if we start to get, I don't know, a little closer to the anniversary and they start to release more Global banners and start to trend toward that direction, maybe I'll recant that statement, but they haven't done it in 6 years. Maybe with this new director that Akatsuki has, maybe they're trying to go in a different direction. Maybe they finally realize that they'll make more money if they catch Global up. That is a fact. I don't think it's really any secret that that would make them more money, right? So, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. Obviously, this is a long video at this point, but I am curious, like, if you've made it this far, what do you think of the way Global is trending? I think it's really, really, really interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the video here. I apologize. I don't think I forgot anything, but if I did, maybe I'll hit it in another video. But slap a like if you enjoyed this video. And of course, consider subscribing if you're new. Let me know what you think of the new characters, and I will catch you in the next one. Later.